Boom! Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the Moses Marquis, and this is the world famous balcony that shows off the world famous morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the Moses Marquis Saint. Every morning I get up, I am blessed to be alive, and so are you. And this morning you're in for a treat because I grind. And when I grind, you shine. And when I make other people shine, it makes everybody move forward. And this morning, we are going to jump into the man, the myth, the legend, Les Brown himself. There he is. It's possible. It's possible. And I switched it to I'm possible because I am the possibility and the things that are coming to me, my visions, my actions, my energy. And this morning, we're going to have a really pumped up one because this man right here took out the excuses and started giving up the action. And I'm very pumped up. He's been doing motivational speaking since the 80s. I'm going to leave it in the background just so I can hear it. And when I get triggered, I'm going to mention some stuff. But this is a 3-hour course now. I follow this one right here. What's he called? Evan. I'm going to start following him now. I'm subscribed because what he does is an excellent job of compiling the best parts of all the other speeches. Now, is it a bit of what's the word called when you say something? What's it called? Plagiarism? Yeah, I mean, he's literally copying someone else's videos, right? Like this is him in the 80s doing his thing. You know, the sections of it. I'm going to fast forward to because there was some really good stuff in here. Here's him when he's young. You know, here's when he's got a little bit more. But what I love about it is live what's in you, get past your fears, reconstruct your mind, develop yourself, and be hungry for success. And we're going to talk about this morning because that's what I do every morning. I develop my mind. I tell it to do things that I want it or wish it to do. I don't let it just harm me and sit there and again pay free rent on thoughts that have long past been gone or just fear based. That's what's ends up happening. And as he's keeping it real with people, we don't keep it real with ourselves. We let our fear stop us. We talk ourselves out of things that we know we can do, but we don't reinforce it. It's possible. You don't want to admit it because it requires a lot of work for you personally, but you're possible. Your ideas are possible, your visions are possible, your dreams are still possible. And that's tough for some people because they're going to be like, well, I'm too old, I don't have enough resources, blah blah blah. Guys like this, guys like me, guys with this mentality are going to always find a way. We're always going to, instead of finding an excuse, we're always going to find a way because that's the way we're built. We started saying I'm possible in the morning, and next thing you know, you're traveling the world doing a show again. I've been doing this show for over 10 years, and I never thought it'd even be a show. I never thought I would travel the world or have anything, but at least I started and had the balls to start. And we talked about that yesterday for about good 10 minutes, but that's the thing that separates the men from the boys and real women is that ability to identify fear. One of the things that I was so gung-ho about last night when I sent this out to everybody about 1 o'clock in the morning was that you already know your fear. Like, let me say it again. You already know your fear. You already know what it's like to be miserable. You already know what it's like when nobody likes you. I'm starting to tear up because it was so powerful to be like, is that all you fucking got, life? You've already taken away my firstborn child. I'm still standing, still strong. You've already taken away. I've already done it without money. I've already done it without friends. You're not threatening me with nothing new. And I think that's what happens is people exist in their fear and their pain and they're used to it. You get used to it. You're like, well, that's my lot in life. And it's like, no, that's the lesson in life. There's a lesson right there for each time you got to learn up. And that's the one thing we won't do. They're talking about CEOs who can track global financing, but they don't know how to talk to their assistant. They don't know how to talk to their business partners. They don't even know how to talk to their loved partners. And that's what happens is we don't identify how we talk to each other. We don't identify how to talk to ourselves. It's a huge undertaking, but most people, they don't want to do the work. They just want somebody else to be right when they're in front of them. They want to get into a ego position where now I can tell people what to do instead of having the power over myself. What a fucking challenge. You know, every time that you don't feel right in life, the challenge is to pick up your own mood. And everybody's like, but it's so hard. You know what else is hard? Life. And this guy busted out. What did he say? What was my favorite catchphrase of his, and I don't know, he's using someone else's mini catchphrases now. That's what I love about this gentleman is he did the research. He didn't just start quoting scripture so he could sound fancy to you. He started doing the research. What are the quotes? What are the analogies? What are the little things that you need to hear yourself go through it? What is it about other people that you've seen is no different from him? Like he said, he was supposed to be mentally retarded. He was the DT, the dumb twin, and his teacher said, come here. Don't you ever say that again. Don't you ever reinforce some negative belief about yourself and let other people believe it about you. It's what you believe about yourself. I'm possible. I've already made it through X, Y, and Z. I already made it through homelessness in college. Here comes the tears again. I already made it through South Korean prison, and now I just made it through an abortion I didn't want. I made it through. And most of you are like, what's your definition of success? I didn't know, but it was on the other side of this. The definition of success, everything I wanted. Success is on the other side. See, what is it? I'm reading it backwards. Success is what happens after you survive all your disappointments. This is on my wrist. Diamonds on my wrist, diamonds on my grill. This is on my wrist that I didn't even know I had it in me. I didn't even know I had it on me. I didn't know even the words were there. But that's what ends up happening. For the people that try, for the people with no excuses, who just don't want their lives to be the same, you can't help but be that person's energy. There's so much tears coming out of my eyes because it's such great energy to be like, I never quit. That's what they want to see. They don't mind you failing. Most people think it looks horrible because then people judge you, they talk about you, but at least you did something. There are so many people that don't do shit. He literally uses the example of the guy that always wants to quit. How many people you know like that get on the phone and complain about the government or what's not working in their lives, or go around and solicit till they find the other people that don't believe either? And that's our belief system, right? We start looking for it. I talked about it yesterday. Looking for it through religion, because bad things are going to happen. That's life. You know, what's also part of life is getting up. You know, some people don't want to they just want to exist and lay flat. Like they just want things to just be calm and complacent. And that's all that they ever wanted. They never challenged their lives. They never challenged their fears. They never challenged their thought processes. They never got up in the morning and said, it's possible. I keep thinking about this little Chinese dude that don't even speak English, came into America and he said, it's possible. That's all he kept saying, is possible. He left it on his little computer screen. I forget what but before it was TikTok, it was a lonely ass man in a room. Right? Before it was something huge that everybody knows of, it was lonely. It was isolated. It was misunderstood. And the bravery to do that, I'm weird. You're weird too, but who's weird enough to show they're weird? Who's brave enough to be like, okay, well, I might not be liked, but this thing's inside of me and I want to get it out. I want to get something that I have a vision for out of my brain and into reality. And that's what happens is a lot of people have conjecture. They have hypotheses, a reason why you're not successful, but you're the only one that has to hear that shit. You're the only ones that have to tell yourself, well, I'm not successful because I started not believing, right? I started believing in what other people wanted me to believe. And that's when we start leading ourselves askew instead of believing in ourselves and looking at all the videos and seeing all the other people that have made it in life. You know, well, we can go from tragedy to tragedy and still find somebody helping, right? Still find somebody with the right attitude to turn that one negative or their negative life upside down. It is possible. You are possible. The fact that you're even here is amazing. Like I was watching the thing for birth. It's like 1 in a trillion for your parents still to want to have you, for them to even meet, for you to even be here. You have a gift, and now it's here on the planet. And how many of us don't use our gifts? We use our excuses. We'll use our frame of mind and say, well, it didn't happen because I didn't make it happen. That's the real truth of it. People don't want to say that. They want to say, well, XYZ shut me down. Well, at least now you've identified it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's really weird about fear and this gentleman jumping up in front of 50,000 people arenas and shit, like big time arenas, selling out arenas for self-help. And it's like more than just this self-help. How about your mental health? How about your mental health? How about all the things that we do and we forget inside of ourselves that starts planting those seeds? The seeds of self-doubt, the seeds of not understanding, these seeds that we plant in ourselves, like a good farmer, and we let weeds grow. Now, what's really cool about this guy's like, oh, we'll grow weeds. Well, I'm about to smoke my weed, but the truth of it is weeds grow in cracks, man. Weeds got no excuses. Weeds all of a sudden finds a way. Weed is a weed, and all of a sudden it still finds a way better than the flowers do. They don't mind getting into the nooks. They don't mind getting in the crannies and growing from a tough spot. Why is it so easy for plants to grow from a tough spot, or they themselves to grow from a tough spot, or they're always trying to grow from a tough spot, and then we stand still. We stand idle. We stand in our fear and we go, okay, well, that's the thing that I told myself I couldn't do. Like this gentleman said, he's like, I'm not college educated. I can't, college educated people are some of the most smartest people in the world. He framed it to himself. And now he's speaking to all CEOs that make way more money than him. But that's all he wanted to do. Just like me, I love talking. I'm like, yo, I'm going to talk. I'm going to get on Good Morning America. What's the difference? Well, the difference is I stayed consistent. Consistency is a key, being the type of energy where you show up and people know what you're going to show up with. At least me, motherfuckers know I'm swinging. They may not be popular, right? I might not be everybody's taste, but at least I'm living, right? Like I'm not living for them, and I'm not living for fear. I'm living for my life. This is it. Before it's all said and gone, I want to at least swing at it. I want to say the things that I did and not wait till I'm 70 trying to jump out of planes. Like, it's not one of those. It's one of those things where it's like, I had the opportunity, I took the opportunity, and there is in lies the success. And people are going to want to know what happened at the end of the book, what happened in the movie to say if it is a success. No, starting is the success. Saying I'm possible, that's what made him successful. It wasn't that he's already speaking in front of 50,000 people. No, it was his teacher saying, you're going to get your ass up and speak. And everybody made fun of him. Everybody grounded him, just grinded on him and like laughed at him. And his voice came out like this because he was adolescent and started talking like that. Like all of us have, because we got really nervous and our fucking balls are in our throats and we're like, I can't speak. Well, guess what? You can't speak today, but you started. It's not a can't, it's a start. And all of a sudden, you suck today, but for sure you're gonna wax on, wax off, and be fucking killer next time because now you already hazed. What are they gonna do? Laugh at you more? That's what they did last time. Already know what that's like. What are they gonna do? Say make fun of you? Done deal, bro. That's what I'm used to. So when you're used to the words no, when he said vitamin no, get some vitamin no in your life. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, vitamin D, I need it on my back right now. It heals me. The melatonin gives me serotonin. This is a good thing. Same with no. What you mean rejection is a good thing. You need to get used to it. You need to get used to knowing that life is hard. Get prepared for those kind of things. Get prepared for not knowing what's going to happen, and that you're okay with that. That you're okay with not knowing. You're going to be okay because you're going to show up regardless. Our biggest fears, bring them right now. Let's put them on the table. Put all your cards out and then look at them, examine all your list of fears. Just stare at them like I did. You're going to stare at these fears and then really live it. Go through it. Oh, I'm going to pass out I'm going to slip on the stage. I'm going to eat shit. People are going to laugh at me. And then guess what? You're still alive in the scenario. You know what I mean? You're still alive in your head. You're still swinging. And that's what's amazing. A lot of people see that as the end result. Close screen. No, the screen's not empty. Just because you get nervous on a stage doesn't mean the other speakers aren't going to speak. Life goes on. It's just those that don't fucking take any action. And that's exactly what happens. We'll keep ourselves out of the action because we're afraid of what other people will think. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid that other people might laugh at us. And that's what stopped you when you're 30, 40, 50, 80 in the fucking bed. You go, oh, well, they all laughed at me. So that's the reason the world, oh, well, I was too dangerous. Is that the reason why you didn't go travel? I didn't know the language. Is that the reason why you didn't do shit? One of my favorite things about this man is he does the research. And they talk about Charles Darwin. I don't know if you know about this, but this is a 24-year-old man that never been on anything before. He never been on a boat before. He was a well-mannered middle city kid. He didn't know of these sailors and their curse words, and he was fumbling around, and he was no good at anything. But guess what he also did? He started to place his mind in a situation where he was going to learn. He was going to learn a new way to interact with people. He was going to learn how to speak and associate with these sailors that he was on a fucking boat with for 5 years. And the man that came back, the man that beat it all, he never went back to the Galapagos Islands again. I was confused. Like, he only went once, but his 5-year trip transformed his life. It transformed his life where he could now talk to his father, a huge religious figure, and say that I'm a scientist. I have this belief, right? And here I am because I went and showed up. Now I'm not this skinny little man anymore. So your head's big on your shoulders. Okay, right? You're not the same cowardly son I put out into the world. You're a man now. You face stuff. You could be a woman now. You face stuff. And that's what we want to see, people that face stuff. We don't want to see people that haven't done anything. Like, we don't know what you're made out of. You can be pretty as fuck, but you can go out there and get knocked the fuck out. I don't know what you're made out of. People talk about durability in fighters. It's like, what's your durability in life? Do you have a mechanism in you to take a punch, to take rejection, to be okay with rejection? Okay, you might not like me, but somebody out there will. I'm one more closer to a yes. Finally. Sure, you're a no. Well, thank you. You're like, what are you thanking me? It's a no. Thanking you because it's another no out my yes pile. How about that? I'm that much closer. So I'm sorting through. Some people don't want to sort through the needles in the haystacks. They just want the needles. And there's like that instant gratification, put the tattoo in me. I'm so fucked off. Sure, I made the money, but I don't feel right inside. Now I got to get a bunch of piercings and tattoos or drugs inside me. It's amazing to me how many people are out in the club. I always would see people that work out in the gym, really fit people that you were like, damn, look, 6-pack abs. Damn, look at her butt. You can bounce a quarter off of it. Really fit people were not fit inside. I keep mentioning this Brazilian model, but she's just not fit inside. Like, that's the whole thing. You could swallow all the Himbi and all this other stuff and do the yoga, but unless you're right inside. And here's the biggest part, is being right by yourself means you're talking right by other people. Your interpersonal skills go up. Now you don't have as many headaches anymore. Now you can communicate with people directly and say what you mean and mean what you say, because you know who you are. You've been through some things. It's not just like, I just showed up with any experiences. You could be Charles Darwin, but you got to go through the 5 years of experience and change to see what you're really about. He's been documenting and labeling all the animals of the world, but he was only in England, dude. He only had England stuff. Next thing you know, he starts off on the edge coast of Brazil and Peru, and it's the most biodiverse place on the planet. He had to relearn how to document this stuff. There were more animals and biodiversity than his little system that he had learned to comprehend. And that's what's happening. You're in a little system that you only can comprehend. You haven't expanded your system yet. And I hate to say that to people because most people don't. I read the statistics. I'm listening to the man. He said most people read less than one book a year. Are you serious? I just crammed 3 fucking audiobooks in the last 3 days. Are you serious? Like, you're so smart that you can't learn from really smart people? And that's what ends up happening. We one-trick pony ourselves. That's not possible. I didn't see it happen. So let me talk the... There it is. There's there. Let me talk the sunset down is what I call it. Because it's a beautiful sunset, but if you start talking, then you ruin the sunset. If you start talking to yourself and saying, hey, yo, this ain't what I wanted it to be, then go make it what you want it to be. And you're like, that's a cliche. No, I'm saying go study what you want it to be. Go give in some effort to somebody and be like, yo, I want to learn what you got going on. How many of you guys are willing to give free service so you can get the job? Just like he said, there's the guy that wants to get a job. One guy gives up. And then he calls all his friends and tells them how bad all his loser friends and tells them how bad the job market is. And then they keep him down because they all conglomerate with him and agree. You're right. It is a fucking hot day like we used to do when we sell cars. Man, it's a really hot day. Hey, if I buy you fly, go get us sodas. By the time the kid comes back with your soda, you spent $3-5 for a soda for 2 people, but he's out of his parking spot cracked. He's over there believing it's hot. He's not in there getting another spot. We talk ourselves out of our opportunities constantly, and we're shocked at it. We're shocked that we are still stuck in the belief that we created for ourselves and that we are not worthy, right? So that would be the first thing, is like, I'm not worthy because I'm too old, or somebody else made an excuse, or whatever the fuck you're telling yourself, and other people tell you shit, man. It could be your family, it could be your friends. Like, these people want to keep you the same. They want to see you in the and you're part of their system, and that's their reality. And then to change another reality to actually become something different, that's not easy. right? To do that in front of people and go, I have this new belief. You're like, what? You don't believe in our religion anymore? You don't believe in bitching and calling every day and talking the shit? No, I have this new belief that I don't have time for that anymore. And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, I have time spent on me. What do you mean? Like, I have other things to do. Like, what are the things you're going to do? I don't know. Start serving myself. Start taking myself out for walks. Start having conversations with people about my ideas. Instead of bitching about what's not going right in my life, I just start talking about the other things. Like the other things that I want to talk about, the other things that I want to manifest until it is happening. Right? Talk about it till the wheels fall off. They say manifest it into existence. That's exactly what you need to do. You into every fucking one like I do, subscribe to everything that's positive and start chewing on it. Start chewing on other people's reasons to succeed. Stop chewing and cut on other shit that ain't working in your life. Like that for sure is the same shit over and over again. But this new information, the stuff I'm staring on the screen, this little sidebar that keeps it real easy, the footnotes so I can understand. I did digest the whole 3 hours, but certain things popped out to me. The fact that this gentleman just didn't want to give up. He kept inspiring and educating himself on the facts that it will work. Like these are people, he surrounded himself with those people. And if he couldn't get near them, he studied them. And that I thought was amazing, is that the ability to learn about all these other people's, like the 48 Power Laws, get yourself in it, and the Power of Seduction, and all the other books that dude read, that Robert dude, get on it. He had to do the research. I didn't know that 6-7-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio or Leonardo da Vinci would fucking sketch. Like, I didn't know that. It took his dad to know that. His dad to come up and go, wow, kid, these are really good. So way before anybody thought it was impressive, way before anybody thought he was the fucking Leonardo that we all know and love today, he was a poor kid in a little city with no other attention to it. But it was only those that were built. Most people want to believe that Mozart's art, since he was 5, sure, he was composing, but that shit was crap. He didn't start being successful till he was in his early teens. Sure, he played piano as a 4-year-old, but all his stuff that he wrote was shit, right? And that's what we all want. We want the perfected version. We want to show up. That's what I love about this new, whatever it says, BU or whatever new social medias out there. People are keeping it real. That's what I do with my shows. You got to keep it real with yourself, your new reality. It's how you keep it with yourself. If you're talking to yourself often and you're saying things to yourself and you're preaching stuff to yourself, this is your new reality. You're digesting it. All the stuff that you, just like eating ice cream, man. When I digest it in the morning, I gotta take my ice cream poops. I'm like, man, this hurts. Why did I do it to myself last night? Because you love sugar. You're such a sugar slut. We'll take this pain. Like, we do that to ourselves. We'll allow things to continue on painfully. We won't adjust. We'll just keep taking it because we figured out a way to cope with it. We won't learn our styles of ourselves, our personality disorders, and what makes us tick or what makes us don't tick. We're not living a life examined. And I think that's Aristotle or Socrates, but it's the life unexamined that's not lived. We don't challenge our lives any. We don't challenge our thoughts. We don't challenge our friends. We don't challenge ourselves. We keep it copacetic, and as long as it's easy, that's what I want. But like you keep saying, easy lives are hard, because life is hard. Like, this is something, I'm not quoting him, but life is super hard. But what he's also saying is, do the hard things so life gets easy. How many people want to do the hard things so life gets easy? No, they just rather bitch about the boyfriends that they have and put it on them instead of doing the work. If you're still bringing your anger game, your disrespect game, your daddy issues, guess what you're going to do? You're going to get more of that, more of the issues, more of the people interrupting, more of the things that don't vibe, because that's how people are. People can't wait to come around some shit and ruin it. They don't have anything in their lives for them to do. They're just existing. And when you're existing more, when you start doing things with it, they're going to challenge it. They're going to be like, whoa, man, I'm up against my excuses. Why didn't I get up early this morning? Why didn't I start believing in myself? This is literally inspiration. It's like being next to a battery or something. I started getting a charge off of it, and I was like really inspired by this gentleman, because not only does he have like a good like preacher style, but he came from nothing. You know, you can sit there and say, well, I didn't have the opportunities. You have less than the opportunities. As a black man in America where everyone thought he was stupid and actually educated him in a stupid format. And he said, I am not the dumb twin anymore. I'm not the asshole that's interrupting shows. I'm not the asshole that wants to be in the background. I'm not an asshole anymore. I'm not going to sit there and consider myself that way. I'm going to sit here and go do the research. I'm going to go study about, like everyone else has access to the library. You know, but that's what they do. The guy said, I'm going to make this great American book. And he did. The 48 Laws of Power. Shit, man, it's even banned in prisons. But he had to do the research. He had to learn about the little eccentricities of great minds like Leonardo da Vinci. Like, you know, it's cool to hear little stories about little Leonardo when he was 6, 7 years old making things happen. You're like, oh, that's cool to hear the little stories of the little Mozarts of the world. We only see the end product. We don't want to hear about the people when he was sleeping in his office and the security guard came up to him and gave him a note and said, can you please read this out loud in front of me? And sure as shit said, yo, this ain't a hotel room. Stop sleeping here, motherfucker. And he was like, I am not making this my hotel room. I just work really late hours. I'm a really grind-a-thon kind of motherfucker. I'm going to be here late. I hope that's all right with y'all. That is the energy that people are going to respond to. They are so used to, I'll quit on you. I'll swipe you left. I'm such a bitch made. I'll do some bitch made shit instead of I have security in myself. I am building more than just a network. This is a soft network. That's another thing that I learned about from yesterday. These are soft networks. These aren't the hardcore communities that we used to have to show up on Sunday and participate. Like I'd actually have to participate in helping you put your roof on your on your barn, and you would have to help me out too, because that's the Quaker way, right? Like it's a team effort. No, we've isolated ourselves. It's Team I, and now it's only how do I feel? What do I do? What is going on? Team I isn't doing the push-ups. Team I is just doing the ego. They just want to do the look at me, look at me, look at me. And again, only look at me when I'm right with the light. Only look at me when my makeup's on. You know, like you can't look at me when I'm in my pajamas at night. Like that's part of you too. That's the dude in his pajamas. The woman that I just saw this morning, I'm proud of her. Kush Cards. So this is woman owned by women who smoke weed. Like, what an awesome shirt to put out there. Women owned. Like, when's the last time you owned anything as a woman? For years, it wasn't even available. You couldn't even vote. And now it's out there available to every woman. How many of them take advantage of it? I'll wait. There it is. The conditioning of things, right? That all of us have this conditioning that this is the way it's always going to be, and get used to it. And maybe the person that ahead of you told you to get used to it got used to it, but doesn't mean you have to get used to it. You can get used to anything that you want. Just like people being in prisons, Nelson Mandela's, you can make your own reality. And that's something that people that get inspired start seeing that. They go start, what is possible in my life? What can I put in my hand? I kept telling my mom, there's an apple in my hand. You can't see it, but I can see it. That's it. Where's your apple of your eye? Where's your talent can go? Where can you be of service to people? That's exactly what he was saying too. He's going to get jobs and say, I'll just do whatever is for free. And now he's the hardest working motherfucker. The guy that's showing up early and leaving late. Who are you going to hire when you have a position available? Les Brown. And what was really cool is, guess what? He waited his turn. So here I go. I'm going to tell his story because it's a good story. Or I guess I could. Can I find it on there? I think I should find it on there. I don't need to do it for him. I'll let him tell the story. I was listening to it last night, but hopefully I can get it again. Let's see. Bob Gandhi, pursue your dreams.
During the time after receiving 238 radiation seed implants, I was reflecting on his words, and these words. Go away, clear your head.
Let's see. We will see right now who is going to get to hear the story and really feel it, right? Like let's get really into it with my own energy. I'm watching this show last night, and there's something about the way he talks to other people that gets them excited. And what has happened is he's giving his, not euphemism. What's the energy? It's not euphemism. It's enthusiasm. He's giving his enthusiasm off like a motherfucker, so it can't be denied. So here goes into the guy, makes a claim. I want to be a DJ. Now, most people, they can say what they want to say, but they won't put the effort behind it. Now, he could want to be a DJ, and he can show up like anyone else, go down to the station and shake hand, introduce himself properly with his energy and say, hey, I'm Les Brown. I want to be your next DJ. Can I get a shot? He get the fuck out of my office. Comes the next day, does it again. Didn't I just see you yesterday? Get the fuck out of my office. By the third time, when the guy goes, you go get me a fucking coffee. Now, most people are like, don't talk to me that way, or yes, sir. You know, enthusiasm. That enthusiasm. I didn't get knocked the fuck out because you said no the first time, and you ain't knocking me out for a second no. I'm not getting knocked out. What an amazing situation to be involved with someone where you're not afraid of the rejection. You're only making their day better. You're making them laugh. You're like, who is this motherfucker that keeps showing up? Hi, I'm me. I'm not like somebody you've ever met before. I really want this gig. So what ends up happening is, sure, it starts off, it's coffee, right? Everybody wants to be, you know, a celebrity star's assistant. You don't want to be a basic assistant. Like, all you had to do was get this guy motherfucking coffee. Most people don't know how I get into the conventions, but it's Miss Winona. She likes her coffee black like her. And I go right to the 79-cent fucking black coffee in McDonald's before I get to the convention. I hand it right to her, have a blessed morning, and she lets me walk into any convention I want. When you're like, that's brilliant, Mark. No, that's trying. That's not giving up. That's believing. That's what we do. We believe in something. We look at it and go, you know, as long as I believe it's going to be real. So why not believe I'm possible? Why not believe that I'm still going to be a good father? Why not believe that I'm still going to have a healthy relationship and that's going to be out there for me? That all this hard work, all these years, all the morning marijuana motivations, all the designs, all the fucking events come to a person that most people are like, that motherfucker just don't give up. So I don't know if it's an attitude or enthusiasm, but we like to consider people that don't give up. We like to be around, it's all possible. Yes, Help Free USA got in here. You know, we like to be around people with that sort of belief system because we need the leadership. They talk about endurance. The guys on there, Shackleton, all on the ice. He would set up soccer games to keep up morale with his men. Like, he would come up with creative ways to be a good leader, and that's what we have to do. We have to be good leaders in our lives. And so far, we want to look for him on the outside. You can get Les Browns. You can get the, what's Robert's name from the 48 Laws of Power? What's the other dude's name? Any of these dudes that I'm watching, I'm blanking right now because I'm smoking with you, but you can get into self-help seminars and watch the same stuff that I watch, right? Like, we can all get it, and I'll share these things, too. I shared it with all my friends last night. I said, who's going to watch this morning? Probably nobody. That's why I lead by example. There's Jay Swift right there, my guy right here. So being the example, right? Being the rudder, being the type of person that just says, I'm bringing my attitude. And not my bad attitude, because that's what everybody does. That's the easy, lazy way out. I'm talking about I'm bringing my A-game attitude. I'm bringing that thing that lifts people up. Like they said, all good leaders, he was starting the soccer games. He was starting to bring up morale. He had different people from all different walks of life. There was from co-captains all the way down to rope masters. And you had to talk to people on their level and find their motivations and be a good enough listener to know what they're about. How many people put in that kind of work? Probably not. Right? We'll just work harder, more hours, instead of learn more about ourselves, the way we talk with other people, and interrelational communication. Like, how do I associate with everyone? We always around other monkeys. This is facts of life. We are all around other monkeys, and these monkeys are smart like us, clever like us, and they're also conniving like us. So to communicate well with other monkeys, huge skill set. He said it again. You can have all the skill sets in the world. If you don't have people skills, you have zero skills. Wow. That means I could be a phenom in my games, but unless I know how to talk to people, talk to my teammates, talk to my coaches, talk to the management, you know, we watch it play out all the time in NFL. We'll watch guys get high SS salaries or guarantees, and then they get sold off to another bidder or traded or all these other things. And we're like, what's going on here? We're not establishing ourselves. That's a lot of accountability to do that 10,000 hours of work. He read every self-help book he could. So did Warren Buffett. Are you going to sit there in the Omaha library and read every fucking financial book that they had? Probably not, unless it matters to you. And that's what we do. We got to make it matter to us enough to be change behavior, enough to discipline ourselves. And this is this morning's marijuana motivation from myself. But the thing I'm doing for myself over my heart is I'm going to be practicing this thing called being nice. It's the thing that fucked me up and didn't have my son and didn't have the pregnancy and it's fucked me up on other things. I get under pressure and I don't talk right to people. How do I become a better, effective leader? How do I can't be in scenarios that aren't triggered, right? Like, that's not life. You know what? I'm just not going to get stressed. There it is. Problem solved. Like, who the fuck doesn't have stress? Are you fucking for real? There's so much struggle in life. Guarantee coming to come knock on your door. Murphy's Law, boom, boom, boom. If it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. Guess what? I'm kicking in the door. Damn it, Murphy, you kicked in my door again. Murphy's Law. Every time, if it's going to happen, it's actually going to happen. Let's make something else happen. Let's make a positive change in our lives. Let's go and say that from here on out, I didn't finish his story, but here's what happens. Consistency is principle. But this is what he does with Les Brown. Guess what? He waited for someone else's failure. He was around to watch the other person perform long enough to watch that other DJ fuck up. And the guy was drinking on the job. And the guy called him down and he said, yo, I need you to go find another DJ. And he said, click, I got it, sir. Hung up the phone and went and called his mom and said, I'm getting on the radio. Called up his sister, I'm getting on the radio. He didn't call up other people. Fuck that. This was his chance. He's been getting all the coffees and getting all the fuck yous. Now's his opportunity to turn his no into a yes. And that's exactly what he did. He waited around and practiced his jib and practiced his intro. So as soon as he could, they say nothing, just put on tracks as soon as he could. Welcome to the DJ Hour. This is DJ Les Brown. I'm here to ratify, satisfy, and magnify. He had his whole jib down because he wanted it that bad. Because he was getting up at the 6 a.m.s. He was practicing it. And that's the things that we don't want to do. We don't want to be such a believer. We'll believe in religion real quick because a tragedy happened to us, but believing in ourselves, believing in a brighter future. This really helped me get out of my depression yesterday. I'm really giving you the keys that what it takes. I've been telling you about doing morning walks. I've been telling you about the self-motivation speaks, but it's the stories of other people that didn't quit that inspire me. It's that simple. The people with the right attitude that just said, okay, I'm going to chew on disappointment till it tastes like success. I'm going to just keep chewing on it till it tastes like success. And most people are going to spit it out and give up and not and do something else or go on for something else. And I was sitting here going like, this thing, the thing that you have inside you, the pride, the desire, the flame, if you will, the thing that burns inside of us, that's our motherfucking life right there. That's the essence of it right there, to honor ourselves and go, okay, I'm going to have a conversation with myself in the mornings. Have this conversation. What do I believe and how do I believe it better? What am I going to start really believing are possible? These big dreams when you're sleeping underneath pool tables in Turkey, or when you're doing his life, or whenever every other struggle where everybody likes to think you just made it to the top. They don't want to be you when you're getting made fun of at your first speech. They only want to be you when you're killing it at the TED Talk and watching it on the show. That's the difference, man. That's the motherfucking difference. It's just like, it's a life lived, right? It isn't just a one TED Talk. No, it's the fucking full story. It's being a kid, not having the teacher give up on me, not having limited disbeliefs about myself, not going inside my head and believing it because he said, oh, that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. And you're like, no, man, it's the way you make it. It's the way you think. And it's not the way it's going to be, it's the way you think. And that's such a huge reality shift for all of us, especially when you're getting some of these pumped up motivational speakers. He had inside his reservoir of knowledge, just because he kept eating up on on self-improvement, acronym, or a quick quote, or what are those things called when you have a quick, not an algorithm, anyway, an analogy for anything that ever popped up. If you keep reading the self-help up, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Cool, I needed that analogy. Or I'm possible is in impossible. That's the one I just put on this thing today. I just think it's amazing. I'm possible. This is possible. The ideas that think everyone else can't see. This is possible. I got to believe in this dream, and I need something big enough to eclipse the darkness, because there's darkness there too. There's going to be the rejection of it, the depression of it, and you having to fight the battle inside your own head. And what an amazing battle it is to fight. So that's why I keep putting out these things. It's not just me. The motherfucker has been doing it since the 80s when he was skinny. Now he's fat on a stage. You're like, damn, Les, you like to eat. Sure, he likes to eat, but he also likes to talk. And he also found a way to get paid to talk. So who's winning? Like I was telling my kids, you go, you're local. I'm local. I'm the fucking, I'm the one traveling the world, making income and staying at your house, renting it from you, having the best room in the house. Who's crazy now? Like y'all have to live outside of your house so you can rent your house to people like me. Who's successful now? It looks crazy because you can't see the music. Good. Keep thinking I'm crazy, or you can think I'm a genius and go, how did that person do that? How did you do that? Oh, well, I just made $400, closed my laptop, went swimming. I saw a guy do that in Thailand with my own eyes. Like with my own eyes. I saw that and I said, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? He was trading currencies. But let me buy you a beer. Let me get that information. Let me get this sunk into me that it's possible to be a digital nomad, that it's possible to make an income while I travel. It's not all just outgo. There's some income while I'm out there. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to get out there. Everybody gets a chance to live their lives. Nobody holds secrets anymore. They don't hold the challenge inside themselves. They pull it out of them. And that's what I keep telling people. I'm pulling it out of me. I'll pull them out. When I say it, I can already feel the small pyramid in Egypt. I'm gonna climb that. What else? We got Rome, the Colosseum. All I said stuff based off travel. Making this international business work. Calm CBDs all over the world, sending CBD buds to my friends now through Switzerland and Spain and Finland. I didn't know that was all possible till I actually went there. Now it's possible because I went there. Like if I didn't put in the work to meet the people, right, and or take the adventure or even go do anything, I wouldn't have had new friends to revolve around. I'd still have these same shitty Las Vegas friends that ghost town Las Vegas, where if they're not high or drunk or coming to visit, I don't get to see them. I live in a city down the street from my best friend. I don't get to see him. It's just like that. When I live away from my mom, I don't get to see her. It's just like that. Like this is this kind of environment where now I get to see other people. Because I opened up my bubble, I have friends already in Finland. It's not a cold call. It's not something I have to talk them into. They've been begging me. And my friends in England, shout out to Lee, shout out to Abule, shout out to Karini and Victor, all the homies. Like you don't even know because you didn't even go. And that's what's happening. These people aren't going nowhere, so they have nowhere to go. They never expanded their horizon. They weren't brave enough to do it, whatever you want to call it, brave. But it is a bravery out there to say, I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. I know what's already my fear. I'm already in the conditions that I'm in. Like, it can always get worse, but you're not in Mumbai conditions, right? Like, you're not in India type shit. Like, that's some conditions. Like, motherfuckers got it bad. Like, for reals. We always compare ourselves to people that got it way better than us. But what if the challenge was just to pull something out your ass, like we always try to do? Pull the vision out of your ass, a proper balance. Yes, you put yourself in an environment you'll call make a change. Totally get what you're saying. Help for USA. Basic hydration is a major thing in the psyche. Keep consistent. Your changes there, physical elements as well, and have to keep consistent on the maintain. I mean, yeah, you're talking about physiological things. I'm talking about psychological things, like the actual belief in ourselves. Of course, you need to stay hydrated. Always get your smart waters out. Reverse osmosis water system, salt even a little bit in it. This is physiological. I'm talking about psychological beliefs. Like this is what I'm saying. Like this guy says, I choose to believe. Right? He said, write this down. Get people to write certain things down. I choose to believe these things from Dale Carnegie and what's the other guy's name? My spiritual mentor would always see him. He was also over there. He was big and popular in the 70s and 80s too. There was another guy that had it really good. And that's what we're eating up. We're eating up their mentality. They got this great mentality where we can't find that anywhere. We can't find people that want to pick up their spirit or churn their negatives into positives. That's why we got Saints Addiction. I had to find a way to take the negative addictions that were fucking with me and find it a way to treat me right, to do right by me. You got this power, you got this talent, and you wake up in the morning and you go to watch Les Brown, he'll tell you the same fucking thing. Everyone has a purpose.
Like, but not everybody's trying to exhibit their purpose. They're not out there brave enough to do it or wanting to do it or whatever else we self-talk ourselves into, and we're missing the boat. The boat's sailing by day, and we're not taking the gifts to open up the sails and see where this bitch will go. We'll come up with all sorts of excuses that we don't have enough resources. You know, I've seen it. I watch history, bro. They go with a lot less. They were going without oranges. Scurvy was real, dog. It took your boy, was it not Nelson? No. Captain Cook. Captain Cook, the one that got stabbed to death in Hawaii, traveled the world, made a whole Northwest Passage. This guy's amazing. Before he got stabbed to death and shouldn't have been touching the king, he was the one to discover that dietary needs were a part of sailing possibilities. That's the only reason we made it so far. So it's the only reason to go further is someone else's healing, and we're all making it off from someone else. Not any of us are here without someone else, right? So it's like there's plenty of resources to be a fit sailor in the open seas. There's enough for all of us. It's not even the same as drastic where you're going to have to convert to cannibalism and absorb salt. No, this is a life journey, and the boat is a metaphor for the way you're going to sail it. And some people just never want to leave shore. They want to stay super safe. That's all that they want is safety. That's what I'm proud of today is that I didn't pay. It's safe. I risked it for the biscuit, and I'm going to do you one further on this show. Promising to be competitive, because I've been competitive my whole life, at being nice and empathetic. Imagine that. It's something I never did before, but I'm learning that the law of the powers is supremely empathetic. If you really give people what they want and understand what they want, it unlocks the whole world in front of you. You stop battling motherfuckers and you start really figuring out motherfuckers. And I want this one to go worldwide because there's important for that, for us to understand other motherfuckers. We got to understand ourselves and other people. And those two things is the whole doors. You can memorize math, you can memorize algorithms, you can memorize the stocks, but unless you start talking to people the right way to get the right way out of them, you know, making more mistakes like I did, is the ultimate key. I'm looking at years of people doing all sorts of things. I'm looking at people that, again, memorizations of university of stuff. But again, unless we know ourselves, like you said, these guys know global financing and couldn't even fucking pull it together. So be your own mentor, right? Be your own motivation. That's what marijuana motivation is about. Pump yourself up. Get some stuff on some paper. Start writing out positive notes. Start getting your screensaver right. Start putting the fucking the words on the mirror in the morning. Get in your own head where you're gonna make it possible. The other people are gonna laugh. The other people are gonna make excuses. You're gonna look foolish to the crowd. That's the part of the chaos, but it's such a part of the training. Like nobody wants to go to the training. I used to love watching Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. One boy would come in and burn his actual forearm. He would come up to the hot stove and go and burn the dragon into his forearms. I was like, as a kid, I was like, yes. And that's in essence what I ended up doing. I would go city to city and learning new stuff about myself. And each city had its own test, and wherever you go, there you are. So there you are. You better have some good conversations with yourself. There you are. Are you healthy? Not only in your body, but your soul and your mind? Are you talking to yourself well? Are you able enough to get, well, man, I was getting funky, man. This guy really helped me out, but I had to seek it out and start digesting it and go, yeah, life's going to throw me a fucking brick. It threw me another brick. And now I catch bricks and I laugh at them and I build the castle that surrounds me. They say a king builds the castle with the bricks thrown at him. That's exactly what ends up happening. Each test fortifies you. Each test gives you the callus that you're going to need to grab that thing again. So these things. People don't want to be calloused. They don't want gloves. They don't want to have to come up against their fears. They want to they want to retire. They want to surrender. They want the white flag. Some of us don't go kindly into the night, right? Like some of us are going to have to battle something at night where it's inside of us go, I don't want to have a boss anymore. I don't want to have this boss over me treat me such ways and calling me out my names and treat me any such type of way. I don't want to have a landlord anymore. I don't want to have somebody that can just switch after I did the whole backyard and just sell the house or flip it to somebody else, or now 6-month leases. There's no ownership in it. I need my wealth to be as high as my health. I want to have motherfucking options. I don't give a shit about what the number is. I just want to have options. You know, get some power behind my things to actually lift it up so I can have some apparel out there so I can actually be wearing it all the fucking time. It's goals that gets us through, right? It's the act that we are developing something. We're all in our pupid stage or whatever shell you need to break yourself out from and get those wings come out of you. Everyone has invisible wings, dog. And I'm not talking about this, is just me talking to you. Like, think about that. As we do saints or angels, or mine's are all halos for my designs. Like, a lot of people consider wings an angel thing or a saintly thing. I think that's more an angel thing than a saintly thing, but whatever. But what if we were like cocoons? And that very act of stretching out our wings pumps the blood into their veins and strengthens it like this to chopstick so they can fly. So if when they figured it out, this was so weird because like this is the interference of a human being to give it an easy that shell off their flick it off. Oh, there's my grandma. Hold on, I'll call her back. Flick that shell off the wings. That actually fucks up. I'm almost done. You get 9 more minutes of shine. That actually fucks up their wings from learning how to fly. That actual process of the struggle is the actual flex that's reinforcing the blood into the veins of the wings to develop it, to unravel it. It takes hours. I'm sure you've seen it, but you can look at it and see a cocoon get shook. And that process of shaking it off, you're gonna have to shake it off. Not everybody's gonna be Beyonce in our lives, right? Like I keep telling people, I gotta be an NFL player. I mean, they look like 350-pound linebackers trying to tackle me. I'm running for my life to the sidelines. I'm only 5'7". This is the only time I get a ball. You know what I mean? This is my crossover. This is me hanging out with Kobe late at night, game night. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my chance to do that. Like he's dead now, and I never got to meet him. But in my head, me and Kobe got the same work ethic. We both get to show up. In my head, I get a ball. I've actually met Ray Lewis. He's trying to race me to the corner. I get to outrun Ray Lewis. In real life, oh hell no, he's a physical specimen. You should have seen this man. He was like a pure V to a fucking circle this big of a waist. Jesus Lord. But that's the chance to be in that realm. These are our chances to live in greatness and live lives that we dreamed of. We're scared. And nobody wants to admit it. Everybody's afraid of going to a South Korean prison, the book Endure. That's why I call it Endure. You're going to have to get some endurance. That's why it was called the Endurance. You're going to have to have some sense of adventure. Is it going to get fucked up? Let me tell you about my best friend. Let me talk about my best friend. Now that I can, you know, he went from a scared man, no beard, everything, scared of his shadow, letting homeless people attack him because he was stepping over him. Last night, he saw a man get shot in Brazil. He's in the Amazon. It literally slept with his machete and him and his girl with their knives in their beds last night. I don't know how many of you watching slept with your knife by your side last night or a machete, or we're in Brazil, or we're in the Amazon, but I'm sure it's to this. But my best friend went from this scared man to somebody I could wrestle with, somebody could defend himself, somebody that grabbed the other man's. When we got attacked by the dudes, like they tried to take my backpack and shit, like it was all bad. It was a drug deal gone bad anyway. So over $20, like 12 dudes come surrounding me, and my best friend comes over and grabs somebody by the forearm, like, we're gonna fight our way out of this. That's 12 people to 2. Of course we're gonna take some lumps. Are you ready to take your lumps like a man, woman? Whoa, man. Are you ready to take lumps? Because that's what it's gonna take. You're gonna have to get the taste of humble pie and rejection and no's, like again, vitamin no. Like, thank you. What are you thanking me for? I'm getting closer to yeses. What the fuck is this guy on? I'm on, not euphemism, I keep doing that. Enthusiasm. I'm on the enthusiasm that I'm not on the couch, that I went and did something, that I'm in front of you today, standing. The fact that I even brushed my teeth and took a shower was the accomplishment of the day, and you acknowledged that. At least you saw me long enough to like hear my pitch, you know, my spiel. And that's what I wanted to really say. And now you have my card in your hand, right? Now you have my flyer in your hand. Where's my printing our flyers? And you can remember me. You'll have to remember me because I put in the work. What an amazing thing to make a difference to people's day and make an impact. And yes, that's a no, but oh, you know what? Because of your I keep doing that. It's not euphemism. Enthusiasm. Because of that energy you just brought to me today, I'm going to reach into my brain and say, I got a cousin that wants to do that. I got a cousin that might need your service. I got a sister-in-law. You know what? I need your energy around more. You are of service. You are ready to grab that microphone and be DJ, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember what he did, but he took his opportunity. He didn't call for backup. He didn't say, this is getting tough. I need somebody else to live my life for me. He said, this is my time. This is what I've been working for free for. I've been busting my ass for this opportunity. My great aunt Marlene would tell you, there's no such thing as luck, homie. There's such thing as hard work, working yourself in front of an opportunity. I was like, that's a different definition of luck. And here's a different definition of success. It used to be do what I want with who I want for as long as I want. These are different definitions of success. It's like, I'm competitively happy now. Like, I'm in competition with myself. What things do I beat myself up over? Can I handle that? That's different than bench pressing, bro. It's not the same. These are mental bench pressings. These are the morning exercises that you're going to have to do to watch it to get some mentally fortitude, mentally fit for the day. Like, you're getting an hour shine, but that's it. You're going to have to put on your blinders, not blinders, but thinking cap, you know, like a helmet, and actually go into the game. Now you're playing football with me. Now you're on the field with me, and everybody's moving around super fast. People do get hit, really. There's car accidents out there. You see it. You know, we got helmets and bags and stuff. You know, that's what's in the car around us. And everybody's moving so fast to get to the goal, trying to get to the cheddar, trying to get to the cheese. It's a lot easier when you're of service. When you're of service to people, all of a sudden everybody wants to get your energy near them. That's interesting, right? Because everybody else is on lack. I can't tell you how many lunches I have this week, but I'm taking them all. Someone I haven't seen in 5 years, one of my Saints Addictions, people that I've been following for 5 years, because I started something. And we had lunch about 5 years ago. I like to meet the people that are on Instagram. You know what I mean? I still got people to meet, like Sammy P and just coming to my head, but like that's the thing, is he put out a beacon and then it comes back. And a lot of us don't want to put that energy into the beacon. You know, we want things to come to us instead of go find it. And I think it's such a proactive approach that each time you need it, there's another motherfucker speaking. Wayne Dyer, that was the other guy's name, Wayne Dyer. You know, so you can go get some Wayne Dyer. Some what's this dude, Les Brown, you know, anybody with a good attitude, anybody that inspires you, this is the thing to get. Eat that for breakfast. Eat a new mindset for breakfast. That's what I've been doing. It just made me feel so different. People are like, how'd you do it? Well, I watched a show. No, it wasn't just that. I got out of the house. I took a shower. I started to believe something other than the negative track that was playing in my head. That, so what, this happened to me, I'm going to have to find a way to survive again and endure. And also, now, really mad about it. If it's something that triggered me enough, this is going to make a positive action from it. Now I'm going to be, not going to be that dude anymore. I'm not going to be the dude that gets stressed out, starts chewing out people and yelling at people, losing my temper and hanging up phones or arguing with my pregnant wife or whatever other stupid shit I was pulling. My siblings. Where's my empathy now? You know what I mean? Where's the care for them, the love that I'd like to leave the planet with? You know, that, you know, it wasn't just because Mark Sam was in my face that I kept talking to him. I wanted him around because he brought his light. How many people are crying at your funeral? You know, not that he said it that way, but it's one of those things where, you know, the vibe that we give and we leave with people. I want that to be a blessing. I want that to be shiny. I want it to be loving and understanding and informative. And lately it's been depressed and angry and resentful. And I didn't want that to be the message. So what did I have to do? I had to find my own motivation. That's why I share it with you guys today. That's your hour of my time. I'm gonna go get it into this day. You smoke the whole blunt with me. Got my mind right. Watch Wayne Dyer from the window. I'm gonna keep chewing on this, vitamin nose and motivational speeches, and just seeing that the moment I can stop licking my wounds and learn is the fastest I can get back up and get back in the game. That's your morning marijuana motivation. I'm Hour from the Start.